Hello, everybody, and welcome live to John Wren Stadium here in Gilbert, Arizona. We are here live for Perry Soccer this evening. The Lady Pumas are going up against the Tolleson Wolverines. Jordan Palacio alongside Noah Lau. And Noah, I want to start off with this. Tolleson, not a very high-ranked team at all. They're still looking for their first win on the season, while Perry, on the other hand, the complete other side of the coin, number one in the States. What do you think is the important thing for them to do tonight? Not get too comfortable against a lower-ranked team, right?
That's right, Jordan. Tolleson is 0-7 on the season, and on the Pumas, on the other hand, are ranked number 1 in the state by Max Preps, number 11 nationally. So the key for this Puma team to beat this Tolleson team is to just to not play down against their competition. They have a lot of young studs on this Perry team: Brenna Alderson, Nat Duffy, Shaylin Yoshiro. So just as long as they don't play down to their competition, Tolleson only has 11 players available tonight. So if they can do that, they'll win this game.
And with this Perry team, Noah, the entire MO, it seemed like for the past 5 years, is state championship, state championship, state championship. 5 years ago, they played in a state championship, lost 1-0, and ever since then, I think everybody thought this is going to be the team to win Perry's first, state championship, if I can say that enough times. Badminton wrapped that up earlier this year. What do you think? This is probably the best opportunity this team has to win one, though, right? We have a lot of seniors on this team. What do you think? I think this is probably the best opportunity.
Yeah, Jordan, I totally agree with you. I think this Perry team has about 9 seniors on this team. A
Yeah.
lot of them are Division I athletes: Delaney Yoshiro, Logan Van Dyne, Remy Deutsch, both of them going to GCU. So I think this is Perry's best opportunity to win the state championship. They got a lot of young studs, like I mentioned, Brenna Alderson. So I think this is Perry's best chance to win the state championship.
Well, Noah, we thank you. We'll see you at the half. And speaking of Noah, and speaking of championships, the Pumas played in the Coyote Classic a couple weeks ago, and a couple years ago, I assume, as well, at Campo Verde High School, the little tournament they set up there. And Noah caught up with a couple of girls after winning the tournament for the second straight year in a row. Let's go ahead and see what they had to say about their recent championship win.
The Perry Pumas girls soccer team recently won the Coyote Classic for its second consecutive year. We asked Logan Van Dyne and Shaylin Yoshiro to recap the past weekend and about their confidence for the rest of the season.
It feels great. We wanted to go in and go back-to-back again because it's just it sets the tone for the season. So now we already have a target on our backs, but now it's even bigger. So I think that prepared us for the competition, and we know what we need to do to keep the season going.
It feels good to win because the past tournament that we just won, we had a lot of our starters out, like Dahl, Michaela, Joey. We had to adapt to what we had, and it just felt so good because one, we got the blowout against runner-up champs, and then a lot of people on our team stepped up, and it was just really good to just feel the win and just be back-to-back champs. I think we definitely Brenna definitely stepped up a lot. She got a lot of hat tricks, and it was just different people scoring and finishing the opportunities. We got Brenna to score off of corner, or not mainly corners, but crosses, and I've scored off of corners, and we just got different people to score, and it just helped us win the game.
I think working together as a team really pushed us through that tournament because we have had a lot of injuries, unfortunately. But with new players coming in, the communication was key for these games. Staying in them and pushing through, I think, held us out to the end.
I think it gives us a lot of confidence because people that didn't play last year, I didn't play a lot last year, and Nat Duffy, we all were kind of bench warmers in a sense, but we got to see the field, and it gave us a lot more confidence to just go up, and now we have the confidence to play against big teams, and we can play against DB, and we can play against Basha, and it just gave us more confidence to be on the field and play with it.
I think we're more confident than ever right now, and it's just going to grow once we get players that have been hurt back. But after beating Basha and DB, who we know are going to be tough this season, that helps us because now we can improve even more than what we did after beating them. So
The Perry Puma badminton team recently won Perry's first ever state championship. However, the Perry High School football team was unable to accomplish that. And as a major sport here at Perry High, we finished off by asking if there was any added pressure to winning Perry's first major sport championship.
The past 4 years we wanted to win, but it's definitely even more now because it would be more for the school now too, recover from that heartbreak, because it was definitely hard, but I don't know, I think it would be good for the school morale and for our own.
It would mean the world to us because we were so disappointed with the football team not winning. so awesome if we could just win state and just get everyone together, because a lot of people like soccer, and so it's just like if we could just win it, oh, it'd feel so good. But we'll work with it.
With Perry beating some quality teams and even winning the Coyote Classic, we'll see how far they can go the rest of the season. I'm Noah Lau, PS4.
And there you go. There was the Coyote Classic. Shaylin Yushiro and Logan Van Dyne both getting a little bit of a speaking role. Right now on your screen, besides that great graphic, you see the Tolleson Wolverines, and you see what they are all about right there. The problem is, little interesting thing, kind of makes you scratch your head and wonder, why are we playing this game tonight? Tolleson only has 11 players. That's right, 11 players straight up and down. Call that 6 o'clock. 11 players, no subs. If someone gets sent off, obviously you're down to 10, but you can't even sub someone else out for that person. So Tolleson only had 10 until they brought one of their JV players who played earlier today. And Tolleson, obviously, way out on the west side from here in Gilbert. So it just makes you question, you know, what's going on here with Tolleson. But these 11 players are all of them, as you see Brenna Alderson being announced for the Pumas, is PA Scott Yushiro doing a great job, as he always does. It's going to be a very goal-heavy night, and I think the smart money is a goal-heavy on one side, goal-heavy nights. Like we said, Tolleson still looking for their first win on the season. Perry has yet to lose this season, as there's the GCU commit Remy Deutsch and Emma Ritchie following behind her. We're getting set up for some great high school soccer action here on PS4 this evening on a chilly night. You know, that's always the thing about doing these soccer games, especially later in the fall, is that it is freezing by the time the sun goes down here, and it is always interesting. The girls on the field always without any sleeves, and that always baffles me. We'll pause real quick for the national anthem. So now the national anthem out of the way, all the pleasantries exchanged. We are just moments away from getting underway here at John Wren Stadium. The Pumas going up against the Wolverines here live on PS4. Like I said, is going to be a very goal-heavy night. And Noah mentioned a little bit in the pregame, this Perry team kind of battling some injuries this season. That's kind of the benefit of having games like this, games, you know, when you're favored by, no lie, about 6 or 7 goals. You know, Perry right now, Anissa Montoya, who you see with the jacket on right next to Emma Ritchie to her right. She's out for the season. She's trying to get back by senior night. She's going to postpone having surgery until after the season, just in hopes that she can be in good enough condition to play on senior night this season. That's what it means to these players. Delaney Yushiro has been a little bit banged up. She has a little bit of an ankle problem. Annika Sandstedt played the Coyote Classic, the end of the Coyote Classic, with a concussion. So a lot of these players still kind of hurt. And you see in the middle of the circle right there, the Perry logo still fading off from the football season. And we are just moments away from getting underway here at John Wren Stadium. The 11-man Tolleson Wolverines against the Perry Pumas, and we are underway. Perry coming in this game, like I said, very favored, probably up in the 5 to 6, 7 goal range if you were betting. I think the over-under I heard from Vegas coming to this game was about 13.5. So, you can place your bet on that however you like. Ball's played up to Jackie Gilbert on the far side. Gilbert, one of the many Pumas in her last season, and she's taking this to the near side, going to play a ball through, and it's in behind the Pumas already with an opportunity to score here on their first touch, and it's in the back of the net. Just like that, their first touch, and they've already scored a goal. Number 11, Remy Deutsch. Simple as you like. Just a little pass across the net, and they sweat it home. 1-0 Perry inside a minute. What did we say? We said we expected goals, and they got one just like that. It does not get any easier than that, does it? It'll be interesting to see how much possession that Tolleson gets to have here in this game. It's also interesting to see when Perry are going to take their main starters out. They have most of them playing right now. As Yushiro tried to find a pass in through behind for Deutsch, and Tolleson is going to play it back, and it's going to go out for a throw-in. On that goal, it was Bailey Brown on the assist, the right back who charged forward and found Deutsch all alone into the net, and she's wide open, and she's going to find her another opportunity for her to another chance to net another assist. She's going to take it to the byline, and she's going to pause, and she's going to bring it back out now for Yushiro. Yushiro gets hit at the top of the box, and now it falls loose. And Perry still have possession. It's Brown, and she finds Van Dyne. Van Dyne in some space. She's onside. Alderson was by herself. Gilbert with the shot, and the keeper makes a save. Gilbert, her shot right at the keeper. There you see, she probably thinking that she could have netted one right there. This ball will roll all the way back to Amon. 2 shots so far for the Pumas. One of them already found the net. We are only a couple minutes of the way through. This might be a long night. Probably is going to be a long night. I mean, as you see, and in a moment you'll see the bench. You see it right there. There's nobody there. Those are all team managers. Nobody on the bench for the Wolverines. We talked about Perry's injuries, and Tolleson have a lot of injuries themselves. I'm not sure if they're injuries or what the issue is. Out of their roster that we received earlier in the day, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people crossed off. So either they're missing with injuries or for other personal, maybe grade reasons. I'm not sure, but that's what Tolleson gave to us. Van Dyne swinging a miss on the header. She's going to get it right back, though. Almost stepped on the ball. Now Tolleson trying to net a goal back. I think it would be a big accomplishment for them in this game to even score. To keep it close would be very big for them, as Duffy plays Yushiro out on the far side. Now Yushiro really spotted for a choice for a pass. It was off Deutsch. Deutsch tried to play Gilbert, it looks like, for a little give and go, but Gilbert wasn't home. Richie plays for Alderson. Alderson, who's had herself a very successful, very plentiful sophomore season thus far. Scored a lot of goals, and speaking of goals, we might have another here. Jackie Gilbert, one-on-one, inside the box by her lonesome. Gets by her mark, and the shot is just wide. Gilbert could have had herself her second goal of the night, if she nets away 2 shots, just missed the post. And now she's thinking to herself she could have had 2 goals. Great move, though, to get by her marker. And the score remains 1-0. And like I said, Gilbert, one of the several seniors on this team this season. That's why, I think a lot of people think that this is probably this team's best opportunity to win the state championship, to win the prize that they've coveted so much and for so long. This school's coveted for so long. Tolleson now trying to establish some type of possession here in their half of the field. And Yushiro is going to play back for Walter. Now Walter wants it to go back to Yushiro. Gilbert keeps it on, though. And here comes Gilbert. Gilbert, just bigger than everybody else. The size is a big advantage for her. Now it's Deutsch. Deutsch might think about shooting. She's going to play it for Van Dyne on the near side, inside the box. Van Dyne clears it back across, trying to find somebody now. Yushiro is there to recover. Yushiro gets past her mark, is going to take it to the byline. She's going to try and cross it in, and it gets blocked and then cleared. So Tolleson, ever since, giving up, getting caught on the attack, has done a good job of sustaining the damage so far. This is with Yushiro again on the far side. Now Gilbert. Gilbert going to take it inside. Van Dyne was there. Van Dyne was offside as well. And they're going to give a Tolleson free kick. They're going to actually play the advantage. The keeper got it anyway, so why you don't need the free kick. Tolleson now. Lose the ball to Van Dyne. Now it's clear for Deutsch. Deutsch is going to go across. It's saved by the keeper, Van Dyne. It was on the win for Perry. Deutsch shot. Yushiro goes down in the heap. They're going to give a foul. It's going to be Perry's free kick. Right on what looks like the 25-yard line, if you could see what the marks are fading here from what used to be the football field. Perry obviously playing on a real grass surface, not like at Campo. Campo, they have the turf field. And a little interesting about the turf field, it's kind of confusing when you look at that from the naked eye, as Deutsch is offside, so even if she were to score, it would not count. Tolleson are just going to play the advantage, though, and Emma Ritchie's going to initially win a header. Now it's with Brown. Brown plays for Duffy. Duffy can't really control now for Alderson, the 2 sophomores in the middle of the field. Duffy plays for Van Dyne. Now Deutsch just can't get there. The pass from the keeper almost intercepted by Van Dyne. Now Duffy plays for Alderson. Alderson just couldn't get the pass through. It's going to go out for a Perry throw. And there you see Brown, who's already got herself 1 assist on the night. Going to be looking for another, maybe even a goal. As this ball is clear to no one in particular, Yushiro will take the throw on the far side. As we have about 8 minutes played here. Perry scored in the first minute. And still looking for their second, which the feeling is obviously that they're going to be getting probably much more than a second. Tolleson let the ball bounce. Now it's Deutsch. Deutsch is inside. She cuts it inside. Plays for Alderson. Alderson gets past one. She wanted to play again for Deutsch. It's cleared right to Gilbert, but looks like Deutsch was offside, so they blow it dead. And Tolleson escape another would-be goal. Do you see Alderson? Ball's cleared. Now with Duffy, who plays Yushiro. For Gilbert on the outside. Plays Deutsch. Deutsch has herself one-on-one with the keeper. There should be a second, and it is Remy Deutsch puts it in from about the penalty spot, just like that. And all it takes is one pass, and the GCU commit has herself her second goal of the night in only 9 minutes play. 2-0 Perry. Talk about composed right there, as Perry are going to make a trilogy of subs Among those subs is number 8, Luhan, number 10, Amanda Dahl, who has been a little bit hurt herself, so that's the only reason she's not starting. And number 19, Reed for the Pumas, Michaela Reed. 2-0 in 9 minutes, so that's a goal for every 4.5. That seems about right, if you ask me. Tolleson trying to get something going here. Pass is intercepted by Ritchie and cleared. A little swing on a miss there. It's for Reed. Now a Dahl. Dahl's playing it in for Reed. Reed, who just checked into the game, has a shot for a goal, and it goes just wide. She went down in a heap. No penalty called, obviously. And Reed, who just checked in, could have found herself easily with a very quick goal, but her shot went just wide. You know, that's what you see with these Pumas. This Wolverine defense, you know, very susceptible, obviously, to just one little pass through, and you can find yourself in wide open. Yushiro plays for Deutsch. Deutsch's pass is intercepted, but recovered by Yushiro. Now Ritchie boots it up forward, and that's pretty much all the Pumas have to do to really have an opportunity to score. And here comes Reed. The pass just can't find her, though. But it falls for Yushiro. Yushiro's going to play Ritchie. Ritchie, the West Point commit, plays Alderson. Alderson tried to find Reed through, but she's got Van Dyne off the deflection. Now for Reed. Reed's offside, though. So it will be a Tolleson free kick with 29 minutes to go. (2-0) our score. Tolleson, it might be interesting to see the fatigue level of the Wolverines as this play goes out. It's going to be Perry ball, though. The fatigue level, only having 11 players, you know, obviously you don't have any subs. So near the second half, all the Tolleson players are going to be absolutely drained as Van Dyne plays in the middle. Yushiro boots it long for Deutsch, gets a bounce in the box. Deutsch brings it down with her right, now scrambles to recover. Yushiro swings it in with her left. Alderson's there, off her head. Dahl's there, but she's offside, so the goal will not count. And there you see Brenna Alderson, the sophomore, 11 goals on the season thus far. The Pumas averaging near 10 on the season per game. So when you have a team scoring as proficiently as the Pumas, you know, it's not that hard to believe that you're going to have 11 goals. Very impressive for her, though, in her second season as a Puma, and taking advantage of the injuries that the Pumas have found themselves in the situation. As Amon clears for Reed. Reed off her head. She's going to try and win it back before it goes out. Did she do it? No, she did not. It's going to be a Tolleson throw. (2-0) our score. Here live from John Wren Stadium on this little chilly Friday night. That's a good play. Just a little bit of a missed kick right there. And Alderson plays for Dahl. Dahl holds off her opponent. He's onside as Reed. She plays it off her forehead. He's going to keep it in near the byline. She's probably going to play Van Dyne and does. Van Dyne clips it in. Alderson's there. Just gone over the crossbar a little bit to the right. She could have very easily added her 12th goal on the season. But it was 4-0 on that possession. And Tolleson, the Wolverines, get a chance to clear. So we have a little foul called on the Pumas. It's going to be a free kick. And there you see the official for this evening. Alderson now for the Pumas. The Pumas have a couple subs getting ready to come back into the game. Van Dyne, who's kind of transitioned into playing right back, is going to play a ball, and that's a great ball for Alderson. She just can't get her foot to it, and the keeper is going to be there to recover before Deutsch can. Great piercing pass made by Van Dyne, just a little bit too strong. And if it was not, Alderson would have found herself one-on-one. .15 minutes played. They're about 15 minutes played so far in the first half, as the trilogy of subs are going to come back onto the field. Nat Duffy, Bailey Brown, and Jackie Gilbert all come back on for the Pumas for Shaylin Ushiro, Remy Deutsch, and Delaney Ushiro. So the Ushiro sisters come off, and so does Deutsch, the goal scorer, who will be looking to get her third for her hat trick as this game continues, I'm sure. We have a foul call that's going to be against Amanda Dahl. It's going to go the Wolverines' way. As I look down this roster, only one goalkeeper listed on the entirety of the Wolverines roster is number 0, Destiny Cervantes. So this Tolleson team was depleted, to say the least, before coming into this game. And coming up against the number 1 team in the state with only 11 players. Like I said in the pregame, just kind of makes you scratch your head. Like, what are we doing? Van Dyne plays for Alderson. Or, excuse me, for Reed. And Reed puts it into the back of the net. Reed, from just outside the penalty spot, puts it in 3-0 Perry. The freshman, Michaela Reed, puts it in the back of the net, nets herself a goal here against the Tolleson Wolverines. What a big accomplishment for her. It's 3-0 within 20 minutes. So Perry add their third. Kind of out of nowhere, Reed just got the ball, thought, why not? I'll have the shot. And she took it well and found the bottom side netting to the keeper's right. Now it's with Brown. Brown blows by her mark. She's going to play it in for Dahl. Just got blocked, and it's going to be Perry's throw. As there you see Bailey Brown, who started playing right back and now has transitioned over to the left side. Van Dyne is going to be taking the throw, as she normally does for this team in these areas. And she's going to get a run up. There you see, starting from the track. And she throws near the 6-yard box. She's going to get it right back off the clearance. She's going to chip it back in. Couple players are there. Alderson's there. Is she onside? Yes, she is. That's a goal. Brenna Alderson nets her 12th goal of the season. Just like that, the Pumas strike back-to-back. What was 2-0 is now 4-0 with just about 22 minutes left to go here in the first half. As Trinity Kaufman comes on, and there you see the goalkeeper for Tolleson. There's not a whole lot you can do when you're one-on-one with the best team in the state. You know, it's not a whole lot that can be done, unfortunately. Kaufman looking to get her first touch. She's just going to let it roll off, and she's going to wait for Van Dyne to throw in. Van Dyne gets another assist on the season. Now Deutsch couldn't quite get a handle on it. Now it falls for Van Dyne. She heads it. Now for Duffy, we have a whistle blown. And it's going to be a free kick Tolleson. So Tolleson have a set piece in their area for the first time tonight. Have an opportunity to get the ball near the box for the first time tonight, and they do off the free kick. It's going to fall all the way for Amon, who's forced to do a little bit of work. And she's going to roll it out for Brown. Brown is going to let it ride. She's going to try and play Gilbert. Not enough room on the pitch, though. And it's going to go out for a Tolleson throw. Tolleson with their best opportunity tonight to find themselves in a scoring opportunity. Like I said, it would be a big accomplishment for them to be able to score against the state's best team. But Annie Walter's going to make sure that doesn't happen. And now we have a 2-on-3 attack. Make it 3-on-3 with Deutsch. Deutsch wanted to play a ball forward. Didn't have anybody, though. She's going to play Van Dyne on the near side. Van Dyne to Kaufman. Kaufman with a nice little flick to Van Dyne. She plays the byline, going to chip it in. It's going to hit the side net and go out for a throw. Beautiful little flick there from Trinity Kaufman to Van Dyne. As Van Dyne, that number already outdated in this game. She has 8 assists on the season now. She had 7 coming into this one, but this last goal put her over the edge for a total of 8 assists on the season, as the Puma is making a whole load of subs. Emma Ritchie, Annie Walter are going to come off, as well as Bailey Brown, and they're replaced by Delaney Ushiro, Shaylin Ushiro, and Annika Sinstadt. As Shaylin comes into the game, heads ball that was hit pretty hard. That probably has to be a little bit annoying. That's going to be a handball against Tolleson. The referee says play on. Perry already have the ball. Now the pass intercepted, but Yushiro is there, and she will clear. She'll kick it up near the stands, over the fence. This pass nearly going out, that it is. You know, I don't mean this in a condescending way at all. You kind of feel bad for this Tolleson team in a sense, at least the players that are there, because, you know, they only have each other. They're the only ones there for each other. Not many parents in the stands, as you'd imagine, for only 11 people to be on the team, as Kaufman bodies her way past 2, almost got the ball back. But as I was saying, you know, you feel bad when this team only has 11 people, and then they have to go up against a team an hour away. Dahl's offside. She obviously did not think so. As there you see Dahl. Dahl, the leading goal scorer for this team a season ago, had netted herself over 35-plus goals. Was nearing 40 as the team hit the playoffs last season. But as I was saying, you know, 11 people, these are the only players that showed up. You know, and obviously I think it would be a fact for me to say that Tolleson and Perry and girls soccer are not on the same level. You know, this is your, like, first week of college football, if you will. You know, this is your, you know, Arizona State versus NAU game. But then, you know, every once in a while you do get a Michigan-Appalachian State. But that does not seem to be the case here tonight, with 18 minutes left. As Brenna Alderson is going to check back in for Amanda Dahl. Gilbert now on the far side off the throw, and is going to play a ball in for Kaufman. And is going to roll out unless she can keep it on, which she cannot. So with 17:50 left, Tolleson to have themselves another goal kick. And, you know, this is the great thing about the high school game, about high school sports, is the goalie for Tolleson, as you're about to see here in a moment once we switch. You see number 1, and on the Tolleson rosters that they handed out, there is no number 1 present. So she might have been the JV player that stayed through. They're going to call an offensive foul on Remy Deutsch, and it's going to be a Tolleson free kick at the edge of the area. Right there at the edge of the D. Low-driven free kick is recovered by the Pumas. As, you know, one of the many subs coming into the game, that was Lujan, number 8 for the Pumas. Trinity Kaufman trying to play it over the top for Deutsch, maybe for Gilbert. Gilbert in a little heading battle. She wins it. Almost set a screen on the Tolleson player. Now falls for Yushiro. Now here come the Pumas. That's Lujan. She just can't get it through. And the ball is cleared up to the top where it's knocked away by Yushiro. Now Gilbert gonna play it, look for Deutsch. A lot of space there in the back line. Sandstadt wins the ball back. Now it's with Duffy. Duffy's gonna play on the near side for Kaufman. Kaufman, I think, has about a foot advantage on her mark. Plays a great ball through for Alderson, who taps it forward to Gilbert. Gilbert could have had a hat trick if she scores any of the 3 opportunities she had. Ball bounced off the keeper, and it looked like it went off her again, but the referee obviously does not agree. Perry are lining up for a corner. Jackie Gilbert could have very easily had herself 3 goals so far in this game, as there you see the referee joined by Alderson, referee sporting a very nice beanie. It's a little bit chilly down there. I'm not sure if it's that cold, though, as the Pumas making another round of subs here. Gilbert comes off, as well as Lujan, for Michaela Reed, who scored earlier in this match. As the corner is off the head of the goal scorer, Reed. She can't keep it on, though, so she's going to go out for a throw. Or, excuse me, for a goal kick. 15 minutes left to go in the half. Four 4-0 Perry. Remy Deutsch goes down. No foul call. They're going to play the advantage instead. Alderson plays for Brown here on the near side. Brown looking for Kaufman, and she's got her. Now playing to the byline. Kaufman going to whip it across. Low driven. Is anyone there? Yushiro skies it. Goes out for a goal kick. Delaney Yushiro, you know, a defender. She's laughing about it right now on the inside, though. She's crying. She knows she had an opportunity to score. That looked like a 60-degree wedge right there from Delaney. Kaufman wins the ball straight off the goal kick. Delaney straight after her shot, has the ball again, and she's going to play Alderson, who shrugs off a defender. Trying to play Kaufman on the near side. Kaufman is going to outbody her mark. The shot on goal's in. Trinity Kaufman, a first-time shot. The football player and soccer player, the dual sport threat, scores on a first-time shot. A beautiful pass, and Perry take a commanding 5-0 lead. The first time we might get onto 3 hands, as there you see the goalkeeper, what I assume was brought up from the JV team earlier tonight, who lost 9-0 to Perry's JV squad, has given up her 5th goal, conceded to her 5th goal, and Perry are rolling. Kaufman again. I mean, you could just see the size differential that Kaufman has over her marks. Oh, watch out. Duffy stepped on the ball and hurt herself. She's not going to want to see that one. She gave a thumbs up, though, kind of, you're all right. I guarantee you that is not going to be the last time that she hears about that. And there you see, she's all smiles right now. She's okay. They're going to bring Logan Van Dyne back on for her. How do you think? Should we tell her after the game that we were broadcasting this? And she gets some claps from the fans here at John Wren. Getting back to the game now, Brown waiting for Kaufman to make a run on the near side. The run never came. Alderson now off the throw. He's going to turn. Really spotted for choice on a pass, plays Brown, and Brown's going to play it back to Yushiro. Yushiro takes her time, going to play back to Walter. Walter, excuse me, that's Senstat, Annika Senstat. Now Delaney Yushiro tried to play it central. Ball still kind of pinballing around, looking for someone to maintain possession, and it's Yushiro who gets by one, now plays it up for Alderson. Now Yushiro plays it long for Deutsch, and Deutsch thought it would get in behind, but it did not. And a nice little run here from the Tolleson player, finds herself in some space, and still in a lot of space, and plays it forward now. As the ball stays in, no, it's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to be Tolleson. Tolleson have, I think, their second attacking throw. Both linesmen sporting beanies here tonight. Maybe by halftime we can get the main official to get a beanie. It looks like the Tolleson player didn't keep both feet on the ground. So that's an illegal throw. Perry will retake possession, and Tolleson will get it right back. 10:50 left to go here in the first half. 5-0 our score. As this ball stays in until it goes out once more. Jackie Gilbert coming back into the game for Trinity Kaufman. You know, Gilbert's and Kaufman on the wings is an advantage. You know, I think it might be a little underrated for this Puma team. The size that both players have, as you see Gilbert. Gilbert, like I said, had her shots been a couple inches inside of the post instead of outside, would have had herself a hat trick already. Now it falls for Deutsch, who's going to play Van Dyne, and Van Dyne is going to find, looks like Alderson, but Alderson's offside. Excuse me, that's Reed. So Reed finds herself offside. The free kick is going to find the boot of Logan Van Dyne, who clears it, looking for Gilbert against a much smaller defender, and it's going to roll out. Gilbert will happily take the throw. And she'll give way for Bailey Brown to do the honors. Amanda Dahl comes into the game for Remy Deutsch. It's almost unfair when you have two players like these two, and you can just sub each one of them in and out like it's nothing. Two all-region players for sure, maybe even all-state. And just, you know, here you can go play now like it's nothing. 9 minutes left to go here. Bailey Brown throws for Gilbert. Gilbert lets it fly. She tried to keep it in. It's going to have a goal kick. There you see Gilbert, like I said. This game could very easily be 8-0 already. Now with Brown. She plays Alderson. Alderson now. And the ball is played for Amanda Dahl. Dahl just can't get there. It's loose. Keeper doesn't know where it is. It's still loose. Dahl kicks it free. The keeper's out of position. She's going to chip it in. Nobody there. Just too tall for Alderson. Tolleson player goes down. It's still loose. They're going to let the ball drop. It's Gilbert in pursuit. She's got it. She gets past two. But now finds herself further away than she was. It's regained by Bailey Brown, and now for Van Dyne. Van Dyne was looking for Dahl, but now it's Alderson. Alderson spotted for choice. Might have thought about shooting. Gilbert's going to pass it across. It's blocked by the keeper, still loose in the area. Gilbert has it, and it's cleared out for the moment at least. Oh, a little football tackle. No foul given either way. As both players both players be able to walk it off, at least for the time being, is now Dahl has Alderson all by herself in the middle if she can get it to him. Jackie Gilbert finally gets her goal, her much-deserved goal. She's been waiting all night to get it, and it's just a little pass across the keeper, a simple little tap-in for Jackie Gilbert, and the Pumas take a 6-0 lead here with 7:15 left to go in the first half. Six 0 our score. I think you'd be a little naive to think that this wasn't going to happen. Tolleson still without a shot, not even on target, still without a shot here in this first half. And it'd be, with how this game's been played, a little unsure if they might get one at all in the entirety of the game, if we're being completely honest. 6:30 about left to go here in the first half. Reed keeps it on. She's going to play Yushiro. The Pumas not a team to just lay off the gas when they can. Dahl's ruled offside. That's a great shot, but it does not count. She was offside. Or was she? Ref had his flag raised. They're going to give it. The referee raised his flag. May have been a foul. They play the advantage. Pumas get a goal, 7-0. I was going to say that's a great shot by Amanda Dahl. (7-0) our score. That's the second time in a row that we have some back-to-back goals. The Tolleson player trips over the ball. Had so much time, though, and if in doubt, kick it out. That was pretty much what it looked like just now. Perry have a sub warming up, and she's going to make her way onto the field and replace the goal scorer, Dahl. Annie Hall checks into the game. Hall, a sophomore. And she has her first touch near the byline. It's given to Brown. Brown's going to play. And it comes back to Hall. Hall, little step over. Nice move. Just too many people around here for it to work. Alderson now finds Gilbert. Gilbert was making a good run. Just the pass outstretched her leg. And that's going to be off the Tolleson defender. 5 minutes left to go here. 7-0 our score. There you see, that's what I'm talking about right there. The size differential between Gilbert and her defender. You know, if you're number 4 for Tolleson, that's a tough spot. I'm not sure what you really want her to do against the obviously much bigger Gilbert. Brown with little chip. I thought it was looking good. Was on target. She was aiming for the Yushiro, but the keeper was there to collect it and boot it forward. It's going to fall right on top of Reed, who's going to let it bounce and just can't quite control it. It's going to go off her for a throw. 4:20 left to go. Everybody's getting on the score sheet here tonight. If you're not playing goalkeeper, that is, then you're probably a little upset that you didn't get a chance to score. Annie Hall leaves it for Gilbert. Gilbert has an opportunity. Only one woman to beat. And the defender did a great job forcing Gilbert to the outside. But Gilbert gets around her. Now plays it inside for Hall. Hall's shot is blocked. Ball still in Perry's attacking third. Yushiro plays it outside for Reed, who's onside. Reed gets past one. That's going to take a byline. Sort of pinballing around, still loose, and who's it out on is going to be a Perry corner with 3:30 left to go here in the first half. Van Dyne is going to be taking the corner. And you could kind of see in that last shot the expression on the Tolleson faces. I mean, their defense is worn out with all the constant attacking. Ball played short, almost fell. And we're going to have a corner, kind of a hesitation by all the officials to make a call. But Van Dyne will do it again from the corner. 2:50 now left to go. Ball sent into the near post, and it's going to trickle almost in, cleared off the line. Hall's shot is blocked. Sandstedt now for Perry's going to let it roll out. And at least momentarily the chance for the Pumas dies. The Wolverines get a little chance to breathe. It's going to be thrown in near side for Hall. And it's going to be cleared out for another Gilbert throw. Actually, Gilbert will give way for Van Dyne. Pumas scored a goal like this earlier in the half. Let's see if they can net themselves another one now with 2:10 left to go. Ball thrown in on the near post. It's received. Gilbert's shot goes up for 3 points in football, but not worth anything in this game. And it's going to be another goal kick. As you can kind of see Gilbert right now talking with her assistant coach on the sideline, Keaton Meskill. As the ball's booted straight to Hall. Hall really didn't receive it that well, though. It's for Brown. Brown is going to play central. Kind of a choppy pass is going to find its way underneath the Gatorade table and out for a Tolleson throw. Under 90 seconds left to go in the first half. 7-0 the score. Alderson now. Thought somebody was making a run on the near side. Nobody was, and it's probably going to be cleared out. No, Tolleson, they try to keep it in. That's Hall's the bigger opponent here, the bigger player. She's going to pass to Gilbert. Gilbert spins around two people, now plays it inside for Alderson. Just a little bit too much in front of Alderson for her to do anything with, and it goes out for a throw. Inside 60 seconds now. The sophomore Hall getting herself some valuable playing time here. Now Yushiro gets by one. She's going to pass inside off the referee. Oh, that'll wake you up if you've been falling asleep in here in this game. 30 seconds to go. Van Dyne plays for Brown. Brown to Hall. Van Dyne to Brown. She's going to play back for Yushiro. 16 seconds remaining left to go here in the half. Van Dyne now. Pass is booted off. We are under 5 seconds, and that is probably going to do it. Yeah, they won't even pick up the ball. So at the half, our score is 7-0 Perry. Like I said, goals from everybody. Remy Deutsch with 2 in the very early goings of this game. Pumas take a commanding 7-0 lead. Tolleson right now, not even with a shot at all, have had very little possession for longer than a couple seconds. It has been complete domination, if I can say that word correctly, by the Pumas as they will head off into the locker room. Again, our score here at the half from John Wren Stadium is 7-0 Perry.